Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Hazy here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a great week, lots of awesome books to talk about this week. Got to start with the DC guys because this is Fables number 150 or volume 22, depending on how you count. This is your last issue, your last volume of this amazing series. Been talking up Fables from the very beginning. What a great book. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, pick up the $1 reprint of the first issue or just grab the first volume of the trade paperback and read all 22 of these because it really is one of the best series of all time. Ranks up there with Sandman or the Lee Kirby Fantastic Fours or any other 100-plus issue run. Fables is great stuff. Can't say enough about that. A lot of people are sad that it's coming to an end. Big week for everyone's favorite Harley Quinn. There she is on the cover of Batman 66. We've been loving Batman 66. This is a good issue to jump in on. And Harley Quinn Power Girl number 2 because she's big enough to carry her own second series. And everybody loves Power Girl. Fun stuff there. Grayson. You can read more about this one in our newsletter. This one might be flying under your radar, but it's been a pretty solid book for the original Robin. And speaking of Robin, We Are Robin number 2. Gotham by Midnight rounds out your Batman proper universe stuff. But the Gods and Monsters Justice League stuff starts this week with Batman number 1. Your cool direct-to-DVD tie-in. Big week for Wonder Woman. Here she is in her main book. Awesome as ever. And on the cover of Deathstroke. I think this is going to be a very brief battle for Mr. Deathstroke. And Sensation. Your first to web and now in print comic. Your third Wonder Woman book of the week. She needs more comics, more attention. Cyborg number 1 spins out of Justice League. First issue of a new ongoing. And his former team, the Teen Titans, also out this week. Sinestro is your Lantern book. Another one that might be flying under your radar, but if you're a Green Lantern fan, you've been probably following this. If you aren't a Green Lantern fan, you should check this one out anyway. This Cullen Bunn is really solid. Cool cover too. Aquaman. Very solid from the beginning as well. Jeff Johns isn't doing this anymore, but still a great read. And Justice League 3001 with Supergirl rounds out your DC stuff this week. Not a big week for the Marvel guys, but a lot of cool stuff. There's 9 Secret Wars books. E for Extinction. Future Imperfect by my man Peter David. You can read more about this one in our newsletter this week. Marvel Zombies, because you can't get enough zombie stuff. And Old Man Logan, probably the pick of the litter. This is one of the bigger Secret Wars tie-in books for obvious reasons. Weird World. Some of you don't even know about the original series. Should dig up some old copies of Weird World. That was a lot of fun. Your last issues of Loki, Agent of Asgard, Magneto, and The Punisher, all wrapping up as part of this Battle World stuff. And your first issue of Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde. Kind of an unforeseen team-up, but this picks up from where legendary Star-Lord left off. Everybody's loving the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. But there's non-Secret Wars news. This is all-new Hawkeye. Picking up where last week's Hawkeye series wrapped up. Spider-Woman is your only Spider-Verse book of the week. Uncanny X-Men. Just about to finish up the awesome job Brian Michael Bendis has been doing with the X-Verse. Be on the lookout for Uncanny X-Men 600 that brings the whole thing to an end. And Canon, The Last Padawan. It's your Star Wars book of the week. Everybody's digging all this Star Wars stuff. This is usually the part where I jump to my friends at Dark Horse, but I'm going to talk a little bit about Archie. This is a Dark Horse Archie crossover, your last issue of Archie vs. Predator. The book is just as awesome as the title. This is issue 404. We've got the other 3 in stock. Highly recommend anything that Archie's doing these days. The first issue, the new launch, Archie Predator, Afterlife, Sabrina, or this week's Archie versus Sharknado, also as awesome as the title would imply. Always talking up the great job Archie does with pretty much everything they do. I'm a big fan of Jughead, but whatever you are a fan of, there's probably an Archie book that might strike your fancy, so give him a shot. And in other Dark Horse news, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because I always like talking up the Whedonverse stuff, along with Frankenstein Underground, because you know I never miss a chance to talk up Mike Mignola and the fantastic job he does with everything. And Fight Club 2 rounds out your Dark Horse stuff for the week. Good week for the Image guys. Sidekick from J. Michael Straczynski. Straczynski is an all-time great comic writer. You should pick up pretty much anything he does. Start with Rising Stars, but Sidekick is really awesome as well. Stray Bullets from my man David Lapham. This book is messed up, just like everything written by David Lapham, but it's a very solid read, very complex and nuanced tales of crime noir. Love me some Stray Bullets. Birthright or Run, Love, Kill might be your Image books of the week. Really been gaining steam, both of those titles. And Wolf is your first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week, because those Image first issues go like crazy. Good week for all the other guys too. John Carter, Warlord of Mars is my Dynamite book because I like anything John Carter. Good stuff there. Classic science fiction. Always talking up the good job Dynamite does with their property stuff. Edward Scissorhands and Star Trek are my IDW books this week because they're both awesome. And The Book of Death, Bloodshot, is my Valiant book this week. Valiant's doing a great job with all their stuff. You should be checking out this Book of Death stuff. And in the all ages news, it's a great week for Disney fans like me. Here's the latest issue of Mickey Mouse. Great to see the mouse back in color, 4-color print. Uncle Scrooge, another super classic comic. Great to see this back in print. And for the first time in a long time, here's your issue of Walt Disney Comics and Stories. This says number 721 on it. Been a long time since we got number 720. I'm a huge Disney fan, and like I say, it's really great to see Disney Comics back in print, because there should always be a Mickey Mouse comic in stores. And Bart Simpson rounds out my all ages stuff, because you know I love the great job Bongo does with all of their books. Like I say, great week of stuff, so check those shipping lists, check out the newsletter, get down to your shop, pick up something fun to read. That's all I got for you for this week. I want to thank everybody who came out to our Black Cat Comics Rockin' Milpitas post-Comic-Con movie night, the cosplay, the swap meet. All of our events were really, really fun. Great turnout. I want to thank you all for showing up. For those of you who might have missed it, well, you got to hold out for next year. But make sure you don't miss our 13th anniversary open house at the new location on August 1st. That's all I got for you for this week. Check us out at Facebook, check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, or just get on down here to Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.